If you're 60 or older, what you drink every day is just as important as what you eat, but it's something we often overlook. The truth is, some common, seemingly harmless drinks could be quietly harming your heart. So, I want to ask you a question. Are you sure your favorite beverage isn't on this list? We're going to break down 8 specific drinks that doctors and current medical literature suggest you should reconsider, especially as you age and your body's needs change. It's not about fear-mongering. It's about being informed and empowered to make the best choices for your long-term health. Today, we're doing a straightforward listicle. No fluff, just the facts. We'll look at the science behind it, things like blood sugar, blood pressure, inflammation, in a way that's easy to understand. My goal is to give you the information you'd get from a caring physician, so you can have a more productive conversation with your own doctor about your diet and lifestyle. And please, don't click away thinking this is all bad news. It's crucial that you stay until the end of the video. After we go through the list of what to avoid, I'm going to share some genuinely fantastic, heart-healthy, and practical alternatives. We're not just taking things away, we're talking about smart, delicious swaps that can actually support your heart health. So grab a glass of water, and let's get started on protecting one of your most vital organs. First on our list, and it's a big one, regular sugary sodas. I know for many people a can of cola or a fizzy lemon-lime drink is a daily habit, a little treat. From a medical standpoint, especially for heart health in your 60s and beyond, it's one of the worst offenders. When you drink a regular soda, you're consuming a massive amount of empty calories and a huge dose of refined sugar. A single 12-ounce can often contain around 39 grams of sugar, about 10 teaspoons. That's more than the recommended daily limit for many adults. That immediate sugar rush forces your body into overdrive. Your pancreas has to work hard to release insulin to manage the sudden blood sugar spike. Over time, that demand can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. Diabetes is a major risk factor for cardiovascular disease. It damages blood vessels and nerves that control your heart. The high sugar content also drives inflammation throughout your body. Chronic inflammation acts like a slow-burning fire in your arteries and promotes plaque buildup, atherosclerosis. Plaque narrows your arteries, making it harder for blood to flow and forcing your heart to work harder. That dramatically raises your risk of a heart attack or stroke. It's a chain reaction that starts with a simple sip. These drinks are also a primary driver of weight gain, especially visceral fat, the dangerous fat around internal organs and the heart. Visceral fat is metabolically active, releasing inflammatory substances that further strain your cardiovascular system. So, while it seems like just a sweet drink, daily soda consumption is a direct assault on your heart. My advice is clear, based on overwhelming evidence. Seniors should avoid regular soda completely. It offers zero nutritional value and brings a host of significant risks. Cutting it out is one of the most impactful and immediate changes you can make for heart health. Think of it not as restriction, but as a powerful act of self-care for your future. Next up, we have energy drinks. These have become incredibly popular across all age groups, but for older adults, they pose a particularly serious and often hidden danger. These aren't just strong coffee. They are a potent cocktail of stimulants, with caffeine levels that can be 2 times higher than a standard cup of coffee, 3 times higher than a standard cup of coffee, or even 4 times higher than a standard cup of coffee. The marketing promises a boost in alertness and physical performance, but it fails to mention the significant strain this puts on your cardiovascular system. The primary concern is the sheer amount of caffeine and other stimulants, like guarana taurine ginseng. This combination can cause a rapid and significant increase in both heart rate and blood pressure. For a younger, healthy heart, this might be manageable. But for an older heart, which may already be dealing with age-related changes or underlying conditions like hypertension, this sudden jolt can be incredibly risky. It forces the heart to pump much harder and faster than it's prepared for. This sudden stress can trigger serious cardiac events. We're talking about heart palpitations, which are fluttering or racing sensations in the chest, and more dangerously, arrhythmias. An arrhythmia is an irregular heartbeat. Some types, like atrial fibrillation, can dramatically increase your risk of blood clots, stroke, and even heart failure. There are numerous case reports in medical journals linking energy drink consumption directly to cardiac arrests and other severe heart-related emergencies, even in people with no prior known heart disease. Beyond the immediate effects, the other ingredients can be problematic. Many energy drinks are also loaded with sugar, just like the sodas we just discussed, bringing all those associated risks of inflammation, weight gain, and blood sugar spikes. It's a double whammy for your heart, the stimulant effect and the sugar effect working together. The combination is what makes these drinks so uniquely hazardous for a mature cardiovascular system. So, my professional recommendation is unequivocal. If you are over 60, energy drinks should be completely off the table. The potential risks far outweigh any perceived benefits of a temporary energy boost. There are much safer ways to combat fatigue, which we'll touch on later. If you feel you need that kind of stimulation to get through your day, it's a conversation you should be having with your doctor to find the root cause, not a problem you should be solving with a can of stimulants. This next one might surprise a lot of people because it's often marketed as a healthy choice. High-sugar fruit juices, and yes, that includes even the ones labeled 100% fruit juice. We've been conditioned to think that since fruit is good for us, its juice must be too. From a metabolic and cardiovascular perspective, juice is very different from whole fruit. When you eat an apple, when you eat an orange, you're getting sugar, plus something incredibly important, fiber. Fiber slows sugar absorption and prevents rapid blood glucose spikes. It also helps you feel full, so you're less likely to overconsume. When you drink fruit juice, that beneficial fiber has been stripped away. You're left with essentially sugar water, with some vitamins. Without fiber, the sugar in juice hits your bloodstream almost as fast as soda. That causes a sharp rise in blood sugar and a surge of insulin. Repeated spikes contribute to inflammation, insulin resistance, and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, major pathways to heart disease. A single 8-ounce glass of apple juice can contain nearly 24 grams of sugar, almost the same as a can of cola. The misconception, natural sugar equals harmless, but your liver doesn't really distinguish fructose from juice and high fructose corn syrup from soda when there's no fiber. Excess is processed into triglycerides, a type of fat in your blood that, at high levels, contributes to hardening of the arteries. A small amount of juice occasionally is unlikely to cause major harm, but relying on it daily as your fruit intake is a mistake for heart health. If you love fruit, the best choice is to eat the whole fruit. You get the flavor, the vitamins, the hydration, and the heart protective fiber. If you must drink juice, dilute it with water or limit it to a very small glass, no more than 4 ounces per day. Let's talk about coffee. This is a complex one. Coffee isn't universally bad. Moderate coffee consumption can be beneficial for heart health. It may reduce the risk of heart failure. It may reduce the risk of stroke. But the key word is excessive. The line between beneficial and harmful is the dose, especially for older adults. Coffee's main ingredient is caffeine. Caffeine is a central nervous system stimulant. In moderate amounts, it boosts alertness and concentration. Too much caffeine can harm the cardiovascular system. It can elevate your heart rate. It can raise your blood pressure. A healthy heart might tolerate it. For people over 60, it can be problematic. Many older adults take medications for high blood pressure. Caffeine can interfere with those drugs. What is excessive? Guidelines say up to 400 milligrams per day for most adults. That's roughly 4 8-ounce cups of brewed coffee. But safe isn't one size fits all. Aging can slow metabolism, so caffeine lingers longer. Signs of too much, feeling jittery, feeling anxious, having trouble sleeping. More concerning, heart palpitations, or a racing heart. If you have these signs, cut back. Ignoring them can dangerously stress your heart and vessels, You don't have to ditch coffee if you tolerate it. Be mindful and honest about how much you drink. Stick to a moderate amount, 1 cup, or 2 cups in the morning. Pay attention to how your body feels, and talk with your doctor for a personalized caffeine limit. On a hot day, a tall glass of iced tea can seem like the perfect refreshing beverage. And if you're brewing it yourself at home without any sugar, it absolutely can be. The problem is the pre-bottled, store-bought sweetened iced tea filling supermarket shelves. Many people think it's healthier than soda, but a quick look at the nutrition label tells a different story. These bottled sweet teas are often as loaded with sugar as soda. A typical 20-ounce bottle can contain over 40 grams of sugar. From your heart's perspective, that's basically soda. You're getting a massive, rapid dose of sugar without nutritional benefit, triggering the same harmful cascade we've discussed. That sugar load leads to a blood sugar spike, an insulin surge, and chronic inflammation that damages blood vessels. It contributes to weight gain, builds visceral fat around organs, and raises triglyceride levels. The tea label creates a health halo and fools us into thinking it's a good choice. Some brands use high fructose corn syrup as the main sweetener, linked to metabolic harm. Your liver processes fructose in a way that promotes fat storage and can cause fatty liver disease. So sugar type matters, but quantity is the main villain. The solution is simple. Brew your own tea at home. Brew your own tea. Black tea, green tea, or herbal tea, you control it. Drink it unsweetened for 0 calories and antioxidants. Or add a small squeeze of lemon, a few mint leaves, or a tiny amount of natural sweetener to control the dose. Swapping bottled for home brewed is a big win for your heart. This is one of the most debated topics in nutrition, and it's one I get asked about all the time. What about diet sodas? You've cut out the sugar, so you've solved the problem, right? Unfortunately, the answer isn't that simple. The medical community is becoming increasingly cautious about artificial sweeteners, especially for long-term heart health. The initial thinking was that 0-calorie sweeteners like aspartame sucralose saccharin. They provided the sweet taste without the calories or the blood sugar spike. But observational studies are showing a confusing correlation. People who regularly consume diet drinks seem to have higher risk of metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular events. Correlation isn't causation, but it's a red flag we can't ignore. So what could be happening? There are several theories. 1. Intensely sweet flavors might trick our brains. 2. They might trick our guts. They may disrupt the gut microbiome, the delicate balance of bacteria, in ways that influence metabolism and inflammation. Another theory, decoupling sweetness from calories could increase cravings for sweet, high-calorie foods. Another concern, possible direct effects on metabolism. Some research suggests certain sweeteners might trigger an insulin response even without raising blood sugar. If true, that could contribute to insulin resistance over time. Bottom line, we're introducing synthetic chemicals and don't yet know the long-term consequences. Given that uncertainty, my advice is caution and moderation. A diet soda is probably better than a regular soda once in a while, but daily reliance may not be the heart-healthy swap you think it is. The safest bet is to prioritize water and other naturally unsweetened drinks. If you drink diet sodas, treat them as an occasional treat, not a staple. And talk with your physician to weigh risks with your personal health profile. Be cautious. We need to have a serious talk about alcohol. For years, you may have heard reports about the potential heart benefits of a daily glass of red wine. While some older observational studies suggested this, the most recent and comprehensive research is painting a much clearer and sobering picture. For heart health, especially as we age, less is almost always more. Heavy drinking is unequivocally dangerous. Let's define our terms. Heavy or binge drinking puts an immediate strain on the heart. Regular heavy drinking is a leading cause of preventable hypertension. It directly raises your blood pressure, forcing your heart to work much harder. Over time, this can thicken and weaken the heart muscle. That's alcoholic cardiomyopathy, which can progress to congestive heart failure. Alcohol is a direct toxin to the heart's electrical system. It can irritate heart cells and disrupt electrical pathways, leading to arrhythmias. One common alcohol-related arrhythmia is atrial fibrillation, AFib, which dramatically increases stroke risk. This is so common it has a nickname, holiday heart syndrome. Emergency rooms often see a spike after heavy celebrations. But what about moderate drinking? Guidelines have been getting stricter. For seniors, limits are lower due to metabolism and sensitivity. Current guidance often suggests no more than one standard drink per day for women and men over 60. A standard drink is a 12-ounce beer. A standard drink is a 5-ounce glass of wine. A standard drink is 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Exceeding this regularly increases risks that likely cancel out any minor benefits. Ultimately, the safest amount for your health is 0. If you do choose to drink, stick to strict low limits for older adults and be honest with your doctor. Alcohol can interact with many common medications: blood thinners, blood pressure pills, sleeping aids, creating dangerous side effects. This is not a gray area. Heavy alcohol use leads to cardiovascular damage. So, yeah, please be careful. Finally, let's tackle sports drinks. These are beverages like Gatorade or Powerade, designed with a very specific purpose: to rehydrate and replenish electrolytes and carbohydrates lost during intense, prolonged physical exertion. They were created for elite athletes engaging in an hour or more of strenuous activity. The problem is, they are now marketed and consumed as an everyday beverage by the general population, including many older adults. For the average senior who is not running a marathon or playing 90 minutes of competitive soccer, these drinks are not only unnecessary but can be detrimental to heart health. The first issue is, once again, sugar. A standard 20-ounce bottle of a sports drink can contain over 30 grams of sugar. As we know by now, this contributes to all the same problems as soda: blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and weight gain. It's a dose of quick energy that most people simply don't need and won't burn off. The second major issue for heart health is the sodium content. Sports drinks are formulated with sodium and other electrolytes like potassium to replace what is lost through sweat. However, the majority of older adults, particularly those with or at risk for high blood pressure, are actively trying to reduce their sodium intake. Drinking a sports drink can add a significant and unnecessary amount of sodium to your diet, which can directly contribute to fluid retention and an increase in blood pressure. Think of it this way: you're carefully avoiding adding salt to your food reading labels to choose low-sodium options, and then unknowingly pouring a significant dose of both sugar and sodium into your body with a single beverage. It can counteract all the other good work you're doing to manage your hypertension and protect your heart. These drinks are a tool for a specific job, and for most people in their daily lives, it's the wrong tool. Unless you have been specifically instructed by your doctor to use a sports drink for a particular reason, or you are truly engaged in prolonged, intense exercise where you are sweating profusely, you should avoid them. For simple hydration after a walk or some light gardening, there is a far superior, cheaper, and healthier option available to everyone: plain water. It rehydrates you perfectly without the unwanted payload of sugar and sodium. So, yeah, choose water most of the time. Okay, let's do a quick recap of what we've covered today. We've identified 8 common drinks that can pose a risk to your heart health, especially after age 60: sugary sodas, energy drinks, high-sugar fruit juices, excessive coffee, sweetened iced teas, diet sodas, heavy alcohol use, sports drinks. The common threads are excessive sugar, unhealthy stimulants, sodium, chemical additives with unknown long-term effects. The key takeaway is to either avoid these drinks or limit them significantly. Your best choices will always be water for hydration and unsweetened tea or moderated coffee for flavor and potential benefits. Water for hydration, unsweetened tea, moderated coffee. The purpose of this video was to empower you with information, not to scare you. Making small, consistent changes to what you drink can have a massive positive impact on your cardiovascular health. Start by swapping out just one of these drinks for a healthier alternative and see how you feel. And remember, this is general advice. The most important step you can take is to have an open and honest conversation with your physician about your diet, your lifestyle, and what's right for your individual health needs. If you found this information helpful and want to continue learning how to take control of your health, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content. Like, subscribe. I've also put a list of sources and some great ideas for heart-healthy drink swaps in the description box below for you to check out. Check the description for sources and healthy swaps. Thank you so much for watching and for investing this time in your well-being. Stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again.